Welcome to the Unfiltered Doll Baby, where we do a little bit of cussing around here. So your parental advisory has been advised. Also, baby, listen, we may have some bad opinions and whatever it is that you're going through. If you feel triggered, baby, just remember we're not talking about you. We're talking about the people on the screen. Hello. Happy Sunday. How is everybody doing today? I am on my phone, so I do apologize in advance for the BS. Let me know if you can hear me. I need to come on over there to see who is all in the room, honey. Bear with me 1 second. I'll be right there. Baby, the scammers are running wild down there to the Georgia. Who in here is from the Georgia, baby? Because, honey, there's some nestos running around down in the Georgia. Do you hear me, baby? Listen, we are going to be here for a long time. It's probably going to take us a good week to get through this story time of the engagement swindler. Oh, baby. Nesto is a saint compared to this when it comes to him and his him getting married and down here messing with these women's and stuff. Baby, it's a mess. Hope you are all well. If you're just coming from the church house, I don't know if this is the live for you or not, baby. You didn't went and got that good word and you gonna come in here messing with me, baby. I don't know. Good luck, okay, baby, because this is gonna get a little messy. I'm not going to do a lot of talking, baby. I got the receipts, meaning the story time. So we gotta listen to a lot of clips. I'm gonna ask y'all to be patient in advance. Y'all got to be patient, honey. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get over here so I can see who's in my chat. I told y'all I'm in my car. Give me a second. Child, as soon as I got on a TikTok, I said, "What is this, honey?" I said, "I know you lying." I know y'all lying. Hold on, y'all. TikTok, I said, "What is this, honey?" Let me see who's in here. Beauty is her name. I see you were here first, baby. How you doing? L. Sid, 5-star. Tanya B here. Nesto Shackle, Shuffle Walk of Shame. April B. Welcome on in. Tanya B here. I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia. Lived in Columbus and ATL. Hey, Portia Matthews. Baby, what y'all got going on down there? Georgia got some nasty work going on right now with the men's. So I don't know if you all seen the video. I got to get right into it because I want to start driving and I got to start playing these clips. So I seen a video and or did somebody send it to me? Let me think. Oh, shout out to the doll baby. So one of the doll babies sent me a Instagram and I said, "Oh Lord, we're going to have to talk about this." So once she sent me the Instagram, that's when I have to go and do a little bit of leg work and see what the hell is going on. So I go to the TikTok to find, this story. And we got a man and he is proposing to his fiance, honey, at the Tyler, the Creator concert. And baby, the women came out to let everybody know, baby, that man right there is a swindler. And honey, we're gonna get into those things, okay? The only black not bitter. Hey, baby, how you doing? Welcome on in. So, baby, I ain't gonna be before you long. All this, I hope you're looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. Please let the people know when they enter the room that I had said hello, baby, and let them know that I'm driving. So we're gonna start these clips right now, baby. We're gonna start it right now, honey. We ain't got no time to waste. This is like a 59-part story. This lady's been on the TikTok for days, okay? And we gonna get every last clip. So let's do a little quick intro and then we're gonna go from there. Honey, we got to be at the bar early in the morning. Now you know that's a mess.
Byron Hopkins, infamously dubbed the engagement swindler, is a name that sends chills down the spine of anyone who's ever dared to trust love. Imagine a suave, charismatic figure who wooed couples with promises of a perfect future, only to weave an intricate web of deceit. Hopkins wasn't just a scam artist. He was a master illusionist. turning genuine emotions into a tool for financial gain. His modus operandi was as sophisticated as it was sinister. He would charm his way into relationships, build unbreakable bonds of trust, and then vanish with not just money, but shattered dreams and a trail of heartbreak. Every step he took was meticulously planned, leaving behind cryptic clues and unanswered questions that make you wonder. Was there ever a real person behind the mask, or just a phantom of pure deception? The suspense deepens with every whisper of his exploits. Was Hopkins driven by greed, or was there something more mysterious at play? A dark past, or a secret network of conspiracies that helped him orchestrate these high-stakes scams? As more stories surface, one thing becomes clear. The Byron Hopkins case is a puzzle with missing pieces, each more tantalizing and mysterious than the last.
All right, so that's just a quick, robotic intro. We're going to get into part one. Because one of the women, she came out and said, I need to warn you, sis. Okay, Stacy, what the hell is going down there? What's going on there down in the Georgia, baby? How you doing? Tanya B here, Zen Soul, Sunflower Babe T. What's going on, baby? What's going down? Hey, Stacy, what y'all got going on, baby, down there in the Georgia? If I'm too loud for you, baby, turn y'all volume down. AKPOV, how you doing, honey? Welcome on in. What y'all got going on? Baby, nuh-uh. Nasto could never, because this one right here, and I haven't even heard everything. I just heard a few words of each clip that I downloaded to my phone. So this is my first time listening to all of this with you. Unfortunately, I'm driving, so I can't carry on but too much, okay? Child, I don't mess with the... Stacy, I thought you lived down there in the Georgia, baby. I'm sorry. Is that a HIPAA violation? I'm just telling all your damn business. Dawn meet you to RN. How you doing, sugar? Welcome on in. Child, let's get into it. All right, we're going to go to part one. Well, let's go to part one.
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb. 2.5 years later, I find out that he has at least 6 kids by many different women, and I ended up being number 7. So I will be putting together a series of videos of my experience with him and how I took my power back.
So, baby, he out here engaging to the people. It then went viral, and one of his baby mothers said, hey, not him, baby, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, let me tell you what's going on just a little bit before I play the next clip. I'm not going to tell you what's going on because, like I said, this is my first time getting into her story time with you all. This man is so fake that even the locks that you see in the video, baby, his locks aren't even real. The locks aren't even real. Do you hear me? The locks aren't real. Now, you know he's up to no good. Do you know any men? I know people are getting the wicks. So please, I understand that. But this man is out here playing games with the women's, and the hair is not real on the man, okay? The hair ain't real. So let's go on to the next clip, y'all. Hold on. I feel like we need a couch. Yeah, honey, we might need to sit on down. Let's get the couch. Y'all got y'all liquor? Okay, now please bear with the sis. She trying to get her story out, baby. For all I know, one of y'all might know him. And one of y'all might be like, that's my man too. What the hell is going on here? So I might be helping somebody who didn't know that this was going on out here down in Georgia. So let's go to part 2. Did we do part 1? Okay, part 2.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga still married. He been married for years. If anybody know that lady that he's proposed...
This video is for the young woman who just got engaged at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, Georgia. If you guys saw the guy that proposed to his girlfriend at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, Georgia, that is my ex. So this is the engagement swindler, how I ran for my life and took back my power. I met him December 7th of 2020 during COVID on this dating app called We Plus. I'm curvy, so I was like, well, if I go on this app, like, I for sure should meet someone that likes curvy women. So he ends up hitting me up, and I was a little hesitant at first because he just looked like, you know, I mean, he's a pretty boy. Like, he's 6'5", had like orange eyes, light skin, like not really my go-to because I prefer chocolate men. So I didn't really entertain it. And then he ends up hitting me up again, and he's like 6'5", no ladder needed. And so I happened to be, I was like on my roof of my house putting Christmas lights on the house. I love Christmas. I love putting lights on the house. Like, I go all out, inside and out. So I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, that's a cute line, you know? And I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I will entertain it. Because you know how they say, like, sometimes your person is not your go-to, like someone you would normally date. So I was like, well, I'm open because I really want to meet someone. Maybe like 4 months prior, I had written in my journal about exactly like the type of guy that I wanted and to meet. And so I was really like intentionally dating. So we end up like talking, and we agreed to meet up. So I'm really excited because I was like just praying. I was like, God, I just want to meet my person. Like, I'm ready to settle down, start a family. Like, I worked for myself. Like, I built it, you know, to a certain point. And I was like, okay, God, like, I'm ready. Like, I have the time. Like, I'm ready to meet someone. So we end up, no, I had to go to Sonoma County because my friend had just gotten engaged. So we agreed to meet up when I was on my way back down, since I had to pass through LA. So I get over there, and it was like at a like Starbucks, like a shopping center that had like a Starbucks in it. And so he ended up not showing up. So I'm thinking like, okay, like I couldn't get a hold of him, couldn't call him. And I was like, well, maybe he got tied up at work or something happened. So he ends up like apologizing, and you know, we're chit-chatting, and we're still trying to like meet up. But again, it's like during COVID, so it's like hard to do that. So we also agreed that we needed both to get tested to make sure, you know, we were good to go for the safety of the people, like, you know, in our households. And so we both had gotten tested, and we tested negative. And so I was like, well, hey, like, I made a peach cobbler. I'm from Oklahoma. I make peach cobbler, like, from my grandma's recipe. And, you know, what they say is the key to a man's heart is through his stomach. So I was like, hey, I made a peach cobbler. Like, I'm going to be in LA. Like, you know, can we meet? And so he was like, yeah, we can meet. And then he said he would let me know when he was available. So I already had made my way out there. So it was kind of late. It was probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And mind you, like, he lives like 2 hours from where my house is. So we end up meeting up at that parking lot, and he pulls up in an Audi. And I'm like, okay, like, this matched what he put in his profile about the income that he made. And so, you know, I pull up in my Benz, and, you know, he ends up getting out of the car, and I turn around to get like the peach cobbler out of the car, and, you know, he's looking at the donk, he's looking. So I was like, okay, like, he's attracted. And so I give him the peach cobbler. We're like chit-chatting a little bit, not really about anything. And then we were at that parking lot for maybe like half an hour. And then, you know, we talked about like trying to see each other again, and that he would like come out to Orange County. And so I was like, perfect, just let me know. So he get back in the car, you know, we leave. And so that following week, we ended up meeting up. Mind you, during this time, like, we haven't really had any phone conversations. he made up some story that his aunt was visiting and he wasn't able like to get out and he had to wait until she left or something like that. And then he sent me a picture of him and like a little chihuahua, saying that it was his aunt's dog. So I'm like, oh, how cute, because obviously I work with animals. So he ends up coming out to my house, and I think I did cook, but we didn't end up eating anything. And so he was only at my house for maybe like within the first, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. Not, he literally had just gotten there and sat down like at my bar area. And so he pulls me close to him and he starts kissing me. And so, you know, obviously we're both attracted. And so he leads me, like dragging me like straight to the bedroom. And it went down. It did. It went down. It was fun. It wasn't vanilla. Like I was hooked. So, and it was also unprotected. I know. Stupid. I know. I just felt like I could trust him for some reason. So now I'm like really like into him because I'm a very like monogamous person. And so I'm an ambivert, but mostly an introvert, and I don't like to serial date at all. Like it's too much for me. So when I like someone, I like you and I focus on you and I really want to get to know you. And so he was supposed to come over again because I made dinner, and he was supposed to come over for dinner and, you know, spend some time with me, and he was a no-show. And so I got super pissed. I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. Like I just had like unprotected sex with you and I don't even know you, and I need to go get tested to make sure you didn't give me anything and all this stuff. And then he ends up texting me, I don't know, like so late, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And he said that he had gotten pulled over by the cops because it was a curfew in LA, and that he was sitting on the sidewalk for like 4 hours or something like that. And I'm like, are you okay? I was so worried, but so relieved that he like finally texted me. And so I'm like, are you okay? Like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to you. Like, he was like, yeah, when they ran the plates and saw, you know, my license plate and who I was. And I'm thinking like, who you are, okay. But I don't really know people like that. Like, I don't look up people. I don't, if you're like in Hollywood and stuff, like I don't really know, you know, I don't keep tabs on people like that, so I wouldn't know. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're okay. Like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And so then I felt better, right? And I was like, we need to get tested. Like, I didn't like that, so I'm getting tested and you need to get tested before like we get together again. And so he told me we get tested. So he, on his profile, it said that his name was Caleb. It said that his name was Caleb. The dog is moving the table up and down. Okay, baby, down. Good job. So it said that his name was Caleb, and I did do, after he stood me up like that, I did do a background check on him. So I did a background check on him and I couldn't find his name anywhere. I couldn't find it. So I'm like, that's weird. Like the only Caleb's, and then he gave me his mom's last name that I could find were Caucasian men. So I was like, why can't I find him? This is weird. This is part 1. I will post part 2 after I'm done working. But I just wanted to give you guys a little tidbit or a little something since this video went viral on my experience with this guy, with this Caleb.
Baby, let me tell you something. She wore my ass out. Do you hear me? Now, excuse my language. Again, if you're coming straight from the church house, I don't recommend, because I'm going to talk raw to y'all today. You mean to tell me y'all took y'all raggedy asses down to the testing center to test for COVID. You were worried about COVID, which COVID was something to be worried about, but you weren't worried about raw penis, raw eggplant, raw sausage. And you know damn well you can't eat no damn raw sausage. You get sick. So y'all went to go get a test to make sure y'all didn't have that virus, that virus during the pandemic, but you felt comfortable enough to let him swirl all up in you with that raw meat? Baby. And then I don't know what he did to her, but she said she had a good old time. And baby, I guess she fell in love after that first shot, huh? Okay. And then not only that, did she say she was crying whenever he stood her up? Baby, this is a stranger. This is a stranger. Now I'm gonna say this, and it's not because I'm not for us women, but it's already given that she's a little clingy. She's the clingy type. I'm sorry, good sister, but that's what it's given, that you're a little clingy, and it's probably because you love animals. Let's get into part 3, baby. I don't want to say too much because you got a lot to tell us. Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm still working. Almost done. Almost done. Okay, so I asked him if he got tested, and he told me, so I got my test results back, and he told me that because he was in the military, that he had to do mandatory checkups or something, like every 3 months, and one of them was like for STDs. Why did I believe that? I mean, I've dated military guys. I ain't never heard of that. I believed everything that he said. It just, because, like, I'm not a liar. I'm, like, overly honest, okay? People don't like that. Some people don't like that about me. I'm overly honest. So I can't fathom that this dude is, like, lying to me. Because who would go to such extents to lie? Like, it's wild. I was just like, oh, okay. So anyway, so he would come over, and he would only come for maybe like 2 hours. We would like do it, and then he would leave. And then I was like, why do you only come for he would only come for like an hour. And so I asked him, I said, why do you only come for an hour and you leave so fast? And then he said, oh, well, I come from so far away. It ends up taking a total of like 4.5 hours. So that's why, and I have to get back, I have work to do or something like that. So I was just like, oh, okay. Stupid. So dumb. I don't know. Y'all gonna talk so bad about me. I was in my bubble. Like, I'm one of those people, I was sheltered growing up, and I just stayed in like my little bubble. Like, I was very naive. And it never crossed my mind that he was just lying to me. It just didn't. So I have bought scooters, and it's COVID, so there's a lot of eating like outside, and where I live there's like a downtown area with like a lot of restaurants, so we would ride the scooters to restaurants and have a good time. And I had a neighbor that I've known for a long time, and I remember he saw us like kissing in the common, like the garage area or the driveway, and because we were living in a duplex, so he never like said hi to him, or he probably got a weird feeling about him. He really probably did, but that should have been a sign. I just thought he was being rude. Like, okay, he's being rude. But no, I think he had like a bad feeling about him. So anyhow, okay, so you guys, I'm sorry, it's like the story is so big, so much. So my birthday. So I'm a Capricorn. My birthday's in January. Capricorn, right? So I was 34, about to turn 35. And I invited him to Big Bear. And I was like, you know, I want to go to Big Bear for my birthday, because I usually always go somewhere for my birthday. And it's COVID, so I mean, I have to do something local. So I was like, you know, would you want to go with me? And he was like, yeah, I would love to go to Big Bear with you. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, I'll book it. I'll book the Airbnb. We're boycotting Airbnb right now, but at the time, right? So anywho, time is coming for him to, for us to go on the trip. And I told him, I said, you know, if you want me to, like, I can come pick you up and we can head to Big Bear, like, that way, because I had a truck and I was going to take my truck up there because of the snow. So, I had like a Tundra. Well, yeah, I had a Tundra. So anywho, so he was like, okay, yeah, sure. But then literally the morning of, he changed it up and said, it's okay, you don't have to come here. I'm going to come to you. I was like, okay, well, I mean, that works, then we can leave. Because I think Orange County is closer than where they were at in the valley. Anywho. So I was just like, okay. But then that spidey sense, like, he don't want me going over to his house. But then it's also COVID. So, but it's not like I needed to go in. I could have just been in the driveway and just, he jumped in the car. But I did have that, like, right? Like, that's, like, it's almost like he didn't want me to come over at all. So, so we go to Big Bear, have a great time. He parked his Audi in my, driveway, and we head to Big Bear for the weekend. So, my birthday falls on MLK weekend always. So, we're up there having a great time and watching like anime, because he's like super major into anime, and I'm also a little bit of a fan of anime. Like, was into like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. I used to draw it. So, you know, he wanted to introduce me to this show that he watched called Bleach. So, we mainly kind of just watched anime and, you know, had some fun and, you know, just ate and just kind of locally. So, nothing was really weird about that weekend, but except for we went hiking. We went on like a little hike, and, he does these different voices that crack me up. He could do like Elmo, like, actually for my son's birthday, I had him dress up as Elmo, and he did the Elmo voice. And so, he has like all these different characters that he could do, and the mess would just crack me up. I love to laugh. Like, I love that he was like goofy and silly. So, he would get free stuff, especially when he used his British accent. He would give, I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, like, how do you just get free things? Like, people just give you stuff for free. And so we were kind of hiking, and then he asked me this question. He goes, so like, you know, if you had to do, like, go down the red carpet, like, would you be comfortable doing that? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess so, you know? He was like, okay, well, you know, I have a red carpet event coming up, and, you know, so I just wanted to know if that's something that you'd be interested in. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, that's exciting. Ooh, like, a red carpet event in Hollywood, like, okay. And so, we left from there and went back up to the cabin. And so he's sitting on the bed, and I'm looking at him like he had a wife beater on. So I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at his arms. He has all these tats, and I'm looking, and I'm like, he has tattoos of different people's names on his arm. And I was like, who is this? I'm not gonna say his kid's names, but who is this kid? Or who is this name? Like, who is this belong to? Because I have baby footprints. And he was like, oh, I thought I told you. I'm like, no. And he was like, yeah, that's my oldest son. And I'm like, you told me you only had one kid, a daughter. And he was like, oh no, I thought I told you. I said, no, you didn't tell me. He's like, oh, I thought I did. Looking some more. There's another name on his arm with the birth date. And I was like, well, who is this one? A girl's name. And it wasn't the daughter that he had told me about. And he goes, oh, I thought she was my daughter, but when I was away when I got deployed to Afghanistan and I was away, I found out that she cheated on me and that she really wasn't my daughter. And I was like, oh my God. Because I'm thinking, like, why would he deny his kids? Because he has their names, like, tattooed on his body. Like, he tattoos his kids' names on his body. So why, with the birth date and everything. So why would I think that he would, like, make up a story, right, about this kid who's half Mexican, half black, right? He's mixed with a bunch of stuff, but she's basically half Mexican, half black. Why would I think he was lying about that? This is part 3. We will continue to part 4. No, this is part 2. We will continue to part 3.
Hola, sugars. Okay, so for those of you, if you do not like story times, I'm going to warn you in advance. This story here, there's so many parts, and unfortunately, she is long in the wind. Okay, but if you are used to story times on TikTok, and if you're familiar, then cool. If not, I'm going to warn you in advance, baby. It is a lot of story time clips for this engagement swindler. I do apologize. Listen, baby, she's going to talk about the corn casserole she made in between, but I do not want to skip over anything because this is my first time listening to this with you all. I wanted to also say this. Bear with me, you guys. Let me try to, because I just got home. Oh, wait, hold on now. Shit. I'm going to play it all because I haven't heard it before. So I'm going to definitely play all of it. I understand that this is not going to be for everyone, but I want to hear her story. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to listen to every last clip, just like I did with Risa Tisa. I'm going to give this dog grooming lady a chance as well. I didn't forgot her name already. Now, here's the thing. I also wanted to say something about part 1. Baby, don't be in y'all kitchen giving these niggas y'all special recipes. I know y'all done said a prayer and you want to be in love and you want to find your Boaz baby. But don't be feeding these niggas on the first date is all I'm trying to say. Now, excuse my language. You don't have to feed these Negroes on the first date because it don't matter how good you can cook, baby. You are not the only one with a stove, and you are not the only one with your grandmother's recipe to something good and delicious and yummy to eat. Another thing, baby, listen, if he was only coming over there for 60 to 90 minutes at a time because he said he had to get back because he was traveling back and forth, that's another red flag that you were a piece of ass. Okay? A piece of ass. You coming over here for just 60 minutes? 60 to 90 minutes? Baby. I mean, I guess. So let's continue. I just feel like she has that type of personality that she wants what she wants. So she's letting us know. I know y'all gonna talk about me because now that you tell a story and you start repeating certain shit, you're like, oh, but baby, her personality just gives me somebody who just goes for anything. Like you can just pretty much just take advantage of her. And that's a damn problem. I tell them I can't cook. Black men are always annoyed when I say that, but I don't care. Hey, the goat experience, baby. How are you? El Cid, not the black bag, baby. Annie James saying crying because some guy didn't show up for a date. Is something wrong with her and it didn't start with this particular dude. And Annie, baby, I agree. I agree. Like the whole peach cobbler, I was just like, what, sis? Let me tell you something, baby. If I'm single as of tomorrow, these Negroes they're going to have a problem with me. Okay? If I am single as of tomorrow, these Negroes, these men, baby, white men, black men, whomever, they're going to have a problem. And I'm just being 100% honest because I just don't have time for foolishness. I've been a fool in love way too many times. I dealt with too much ish. And baby, I don't know. I might turn into a savage. Who knows? But I do know that this sounds crazy so far. So let's get into it, okay? He probably had only a good 3 minutes to give, and that's okay. You know, if he only had them 3 minutes, right? But you keep uh, you're in love with someone. It seems like she's in love already. How are you in love? And you just met this man, and I'm a hopeless romantic. I do believe that you can meet somebody and you feel like, oh my God, this is the one. I believe in all of that. I really do. Things can go fast. I'm a believer in all of that. I really am. But baby, again, we got to have some shame when we are telling our stories at the same time. We have to invest in shame. Ain't no way I would have told y'all that we went and had a COVID test, and then when he came over, I let him pop this cherry without no condom on. I would have cleaned that part up. You know, y'all can lie a little bit when y'all tell y'all story. Please tell a few lies. Have some damn shame. So let's get into the next part. Hey, Miss Bookie Down, baby, how you doing? When you pray, the devil hears it also. Chanel, you better let them know, baby. You better let them know when you pray that just because you met that first man, that's not God sent. That's not how that works. You got to pay attention to discernment. You got to pay attention to the signs, baby. Hey, now I cooked for hubby after a month together and after a background check at the local police station. And then with some of these Negroes, some of these men's, and honey, you women too, because some of us don't date men. Some of us date women. You mess around and get a clean background check. That don't mean they ain't a low down, dirty, dusty, raggedy dog, you know? I don't have my glasses on. Getting Leo lady, probably, baby, I probably haven't even seen it anyway because I'm driving. Girl, ain't no cooking going on. You better eat before you get here. And baby, if you eat before you get here, make sure you eat when you get here, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, Leo lady. I'm just being honest. If we gonna do some things, we gonna get into some things, baby. If we gonna get into some things, I'm just saying. I mean, if we gonna have raw relations, hopefully, he had himself a full meal. Thank you, sir. Because that's the only thing I'm going to feed you. That's the only thing I'm going to feed you. Okay. So let's get on into the next part. And again, I'm sorry in advance for those of you who are impatient, baby. I don't know what to tell you, sugar, but I do want to thank you if you're going to hang out with me anyway. All right. So let's get into her next part. What part was that? Was that part? Shit, I can't keep up with this half of part 1, part 2. We did part 3. Hold on, let me see. Let me test this out. Hold on.
His kids' names are tattooed on his body. So the one that he said wasn't his daughter because he found out that she cheated on him. I said, well, how did you know that? He said, well, one day me and my brother were driving around and we saw her and the little girl didn't look like me. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like, who would lie about that? I didn't know. And then I asked him about his oldest son. I was like, oh, like, do you see your oldest son? Like, and he was like, no. I haven't seen him in a long time since he was like a toddler. And he goes, yeah, the mom, she's a part of a Jehovah's Witness cult. And they're protected by the state. And so they just wouldn't let me see him and there was nothing that I could do. And I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, so she just wouldn't let you see your son? And he was like, no, she wouldn't let me see him. And there was just like nothing I could do. But I am going to talk to him when he's like 18. Like, I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to tell him like what happened. And, because I was concerned. I was like, are you going to try to, like, do you reach out? Like, are you going to try to, rekindle a relationship? Like, now that he's older. And he was like, yeah, when he's 18. So, I was like, oh God, like, that's terrible. I think it's terrible that someone that wants to be involved in their child's life and they're not allowed to be. Like, I don't agree with that. So, so he said that, yeah, he had lived in Georgia for a little bit. And when him and his girlfriend told me that she was his girlfriend, or his son's mom, all these things that I'm telling you guys, this is all gonna come back around. Like, these little stupid details are actually very important. So he was like, oh, you know, she wouldn't let me see him, so I just left. Like, we didn't get along and the family didn't want me there, and they lived in a compound. He told me that they lived in a compound. He was like, yeah, they live in a compound because her uncle is rich or whatever, and they live in this, whole family lives in a compound. And so once her and I didn't get along and I left, like, they didn't want me to be involved. They didn't want me around. So I was just like, okay. And that's what he told me about his kids. So we're done at Big Bear. We drive back down to my house. I think it's only like maybe it's a 2-hour drive. I don't remember. Maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from Big Bear. And so we say goodbye. He gets back in the car and he's sitting in the driveway for a little bit. And mind you, this is during the George Floyd stuff, okay? I had so much anxiety. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I had a ton of anxiety. Like, I was scared to leave my house sometimes. And I live in a predominantly Caucasian area, especially the neighborhood that I was in. So I would get scared sometimes that I would come out and I would see the N-word written like on like one of my like units. And so I remember wanting to feel safe. And I like the fact that he used to be a Marine and he's tall and he had, you know, arms. Not a super muscular person, but he worked on his arms. And I just felt like safe. And so the neighbor that I had at the time, not the one that I shared the duplex with, but the one across the street, would write like a lot of racial slurs, say such and such, such and such, such and such. If you don't like it here, like go back to where you came from. And all of, I mean, he would have different things almost every week on this sign that he put, oh my God, outside of his house. So I had to move one of my units from across the street and I busted a U like in front of his house. Legally, like, so I park it and all of a sudden this man comes from across the street yelling at me. He's like probably 80. And he's like, I called the cops on you. I called the cops on you because of your turn. I'm like, what? I'm like, why would you call the cops on me because you didn't like the way that I turned? And then I just like lost it. And I was yelling at him and I was like, you better stay the bleep away from me. All you want to see, why would you call the cops on me for something stupid like that? Like, you just want to see me get shot. Like, and all these people are driving by staring at me. But I was just like so tense, you know, like so scared during that time. He was in the car, so he didn't see any of it. And, you know, I went in the house, I was like crying, it was like a whole thing. So we continue to see each other. God, this is January. And let me fast forward to when he had to go to Colorado. So he had to go to Colorado because he said, oh, no. So he tells me that, he finally tells me that he had a roommate. Because I told him, I said, I kind of feel like you're living with a woman or something. Like, are you living with a woman? Like, I just get that feeling. And he was like, no, I mean, I have roommates, but I'm trying to move out. And I said, oh, okay. And so he said, yeah, I'm trying to move out. And I did find a place. And so I'm going to go, it's not going to be ready. So I'm going to go to Colorado for a month. He said he was going to go to Colorado for a month during his birthday month, which is, he's an Aquarius. So Nothing Against Aquarius is like, this is the first crazy experience I've had with an Aquarius. But he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there for a month. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, I can't be without him for a month. Like, I'm falling for him, right? Like, that's too long. So he said he'd be back and then he would move into his new spot. And he's moving out from the valley and gonna be like almost like close to downtown LA. So I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna miss you. And so I secretly planned to fly out there because he was gonna be there during Valentine's weekend. And so I like wrote all these cute little letters, and he's supposed to open up one every other day or something. I don't know. I was being very romantic. So, and one of the letters he would open up, it would be like, surprise, I'm coming out there to visit you. And so he ends up leaving like February the 1st, I think, which is like 4 days before his birthday. And so he ends up leaving February 1st on a plane to go stay with his mom in Colorado. And then, because that's where he's from. So he's like from Colorado, but also from LA. His family's lived both places. So he grew up like kind of half and half. So he's gonna go to Colorado and stay up there. So he left February 1st. He calls me like February the 2nd. And he was like, do you have time to talk? And I'm like, I always have time to talk. You know, he was like, well, call me after you're done working. And I said, okay, no problem. So I call him after I'm done working, and he's like bothered, breathing hard, like acting like he's nervous. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? And he was like, I'm so scared if I tell you this, you're not going to talk to me anymore. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm a very understanding, open-minded person. Like, whatever you have to tell me, it can't be that bad. Like, you know, just tell me. Mind you, when I was dating him, and in the beginning, I had asked him if he had a social media account, and he told me he's never had a social media account. He's like, no, I don't do social media. But then I should have thought, well, that doesn't make sense, because if you're like an actor or something, like, wouldn't you have a social media account? So I was just like, oh, okay. But again, I did background checks on him again, and nothing popped up. So, I mean, what would I think? And mind you, I still think his name is Caleb. And this is now going into the 8th week of us talking. So, on to the next part.
I mean, even if he was not a scammer, a swindler, a low down, dusty, long foot, funky foot dog, I still probably would have to say he probably was going to play some games with her, because she is annoying as hell. She is very annoying. And that brother, if he was not what these women are saying that he is, if he was liking what he was dipping into, I can very much see her having this experience with, no matter who, it don't matter who it is. I can just see her having a bad experience. You know, nice girl, really nice girl, right? But everybody ain't, she's not my cup of tea. She's not my cup of tea. I don't know about y'all. She not my cup of tea, baby. If I was a man, she would not be my cup of tea. She's annoying. Okay. I'm sorry, sis. You're very nice. You know what I'm saying? Oh God. Yeah, listen. It's too much. It's too much. At what point do you not care about getting any information from a dude that's obviously lying? Baby, listen, Annie James, it doesn't even matter, because I just feel like this was going to be her destination and her situation, regardless of who it was, because she is a lot to handle on this story time. So I can't even imagine how she is in person. Nice girl, though, right? So let's go on to the next part, honey. I told y'all this is going to probably take a damn week to get through. I'm so serious.
Okay. So this is part 5. Part 5. So he called me, so I call him after I'm done working. So I give him a call, And yeah, he's like acting nervous, and I'm like, just tell me whatever it is that you have to say. And then he goes, okay, so my name is not Caleb. What? Yeah, my name is not Caleb. And I'm like, okay. And so, mind you, this is like February the 1st. I believe. Yeah. Or the 2nd, maybe. No. He went out there on the 1st. I think this is February the 2nd. So, he gives me the name of a website, or the URL of a website. And he's like, okay, well, on your phone, like, type in this website. And I said, okay. And then I'm just going to say the first part of the website was Byron. something.com. Okay. So I type in the website, and it's him. And he has like this profile picture with his like hat, and he goes, it's basically like a, I don't know, what is it, like a biography of him, a bio of himself. And so it said that he was a veteran. And I don't think, I can't remember, but I don't think I knew that he was a veteran. So, yeah, it said that he was, no, I did know. I did know that he was a veteran, that he was a Marine before. I did know that part. So anyway, so it said that he was a veteran, and that he was an actor, and I don't know, like whatever it is that he put on the bio. So I go, okay, so your name is Byron, not Caleb? And he goes, right, yeah, my name is Byron. Why would you lie about that? Why would you lie about your name? So he goes, well, I was in a high-profile relationship with a celebrity's daughter, and we had broken up, and we've been broken up for a year. Because I asked him, so how long have you guys been broken up? And he said a year. And I'm like, okay, I'm confused, but you guys, I mean, so I'm assuming that's who your roommates were. And he was like, yeah, we were living in her parents' back house. So you guys broken up for a year, but you're still living there. He was like, yeah, because of COVID, so I had to move in. And then something happened like with her dad. He had a stroke, and then we definitely couldn't tell the family that we weren't engaged anymore. And it was just a lot. And so I was just like, he was like, yeah, so I just had to like, he basically told me that he just had to be careful, and that's why he had to give me a fake name. And in my head, I was like processing it, but then I'm like talking to myself, like trying to rationalize it. Like, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I can understand that. Like, I can understand why you had to give me a fake name, because you're in a high profile relationship with a celebrity's daughter, and you guys had to be careful, because of the media and blowback or whatever. I literally, it didn't matter what he was going to tell me, as you guys can see. Like, I was determined, because I didn't need him. No, like, I'm an independent, woman. I'm doing my thing. Like, I didn't need him, but I wanted him. And because I wanted him, and I was like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm a tenacious person. Like, when I see something that I want, like, I go after it. And I'm like a pit bull, and I don't let go. I'm like, no, this is what I want, and I'm going to figure out how to get it. And so, I mean, I guess that's a part of the entrepreneurial spirit that I have. Like, that's just me. I've always been like that. So it didn't matter what he told me, because he told me what I needed to hear to like rationalize it and make it okay. So, but the problem was that I already told my mom about him. And now I'm going to have to explain to my mom, because I was so excited about him. I'm like, this is the one, like, oh my God, like, it's like I've known him forever. Like, he's my person. Like, I know this is serious. Like, so I already told her. And so now I got to explain why his name is no longer Caleb. Now I got to explain that. And here are some photos. Oh my God. Here's some photos. And then on to the next. I don't know how you guys do this on TikTok, because it is very time consuming. These videos take so long to upload. So I'm hoping that I can get through this without the videos being super duper long, as I know the max is like 10 minutes. But let me just go ahead and give you guys like these, my proof, what do you call it? The receipts, my receipts of everything. And then we're going to talk about the fiance that he had. And so we're going to talk about what I was going through, and in the back end, what was actually happening. What was actually happening. Because, I mean, he didn't have roommates. He had a fiance that he was living with. And the roommates are her parents, like her family. Like, what? This is nuts. And you can't make this stuff up. Like when it's like when people tell you these crazy stories, it's hard to believe because it's just that crazy. Like, who would make this stuff up? It's like a Tyler Perry movie. Like, who would make this stuff up? It's like almost unbelievable. And it's so insane that you're like, that can't be right. That can't be right. So yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to share these, and then we're going to talk about his ex-fiance. And I have had permission. I got permission from her to share her videos of when she posted about him around that time that he told me what his real name was. So enjoy.
How crazy is this? Now, I understand you guys are annoyed, okay? I know y'all are annoyed. I know, baby, I know she's long in the wind. But why is this story so familiar to me? Is this story familiar to anyone else? Lord have mercy, Jesus. So I'm going to share two more parts, and then I'm going to close this out, and we're going to carry on with this tomorrow. Baby, I do not have 75 days to do all of this. Not all in one live, baby. It's just when I say that TikTok of hers is filled up, it is filled up. All right. So we're going to get into the last two parts because I do want to see what she's going to say about the fiance. Okay. But this is something, baby, we might be doing this all week. I'm not trying, you know what I mean? I did Risa Tisa. That was my first story time and the last story time that I've actually done on TikTok. I've seen smaller ones, but Risa Tisa, who wanted me to watch that? I'm trying to think. Pretty much I was like forced to watch it because I kept saying, oh, I ain't doing that shit. But it was a good time once I sat down and got through it all. So let's get to the part 6. Are we on part 6? Yes, part 6.
Okay, so the fiance. So first of all, before I add in her videos that I downloaded back when I downloaded them when I started to really like decided to take off my blinders and get out of denial and really like realize who this guy actually was and what has been going on from day one, from the moment that he hit me up on We Plus dating app and said hello. Now, my family, let's say my mom and me and my sisters, are nosy. We are nosy, okay? And we do some research. Now, I wish I would have did as much research on him then. When, you know, because I think I definitely did a background check when he told me his real name. When he told me his real name, background check. There was nothing like the site that I used. There's so many different sites, but the site that I had used at that time didn't really tell me much. So I did do a background check on him because I'm like, what? Let me look this up, right? So look him up, and it didn't really tell me anything that made me like. It didn't make me become like concerned, I guess. I don't know. It obviously there's all these red flags. Like you guys are seeing them. You guys are seeing all of these red flags that happened in the very, very, very beginning that I completely ignored. Nothing told me like, oh, this is a red flag. Nothing like told me that. And I know you're looking and you're like, how can you not see these? I literally like didn't, because I didn't want to see it. And so my red flags was like, if I did a background check on him and if he actually like had a criminal record or, marriage certificates, all that stuff, like that would have, for me, would have been my like red flags, but none of that popped up in the background search that I did on him. So, but my mama does her research. And because he already told me his version of the story when it came to his fiance, which I'm about to share, I didn't want to see anything. My mom wanted to show me, and I did not want to see it. I told her, no, Mom, he already told me about that. The thing about B is that he will give you 5% of truth, and the other 95% is complete BS. Complete. Like, and it never crossed my mind that this person was... I've never met somebody who lied. Well, I probably have met someone that lied that much, but didn't realize it when I kind of think back on some of my experiences, but I never met someone that like lied that much. And it's like, but if you're engaged, like, why would you lie about that? Why would you lie about being engaged? So no, I didn't think that he was lying to me about the fiance. And no, I legit believed him. Oh yeah, they've been broken up for a year. And he told me that she was crazy. And that, he told me some other stuff. I have to be careful about what I say, but he told me some other stuff and that she was crazy. And there's always two sides to every story. So, he said that she was bipolar also. But I really should have really sat and thought on that about, okay, someone may have like a bipolar disorder. She does not. But someone may have a bipolar disorder, but it doesn't mean that the things that happen to them, their experiences, is a lie or that they're crazy. Like, when he said that and he told me something I was like, oh my God, like she did what? And so it did make it sound like she was crazy. And so I believed him. And then, of course, I get the backstory on that particular situation. I can share some of that, and I'll do that a little later. But I had a background on that situation. And so then when I had the whole story, I'm like, oh, because he left all that out. He left all that out. So we will talk about that. But, okay, I'm about to show you her videos that she put out. And again, she's a comedian, so it's funny. It's funny, haha, but it's also like sad, extremely sad. But she makes jokes out of all of it. So, my heart. Okay, she makes jokes out of it, so I will, you guys can see what she had to say, and I know she will have much more to say. We talked today, so she will have much more to say, but right now I'm just going to show you guys this part.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I figure here's the thing. After dealing with the whole Nesto, listening of Sonya calls, I can, baby, this is a breeze for me. Although I'm annoyed, I'm very much annoyed. I can handle this for sure. Okay. So let's get down into part 7.
That's it. I quit. Dating sucks, hate it here, blah, blah, blah. So this one is not about a date because apparently I need to actually go on one in order to keep telling you guys stories. Minor technicality I did not take into consideration. Oh, but do not worry, because considering this is the last story time of 2021, the tea that I'm about to spill is much, much juicier. Don't believe me? Well, what if I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with? Yay! I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called her a bitch. That was misdirected anger. There's literally only one monster in this story. Unless she knew about me, in which case, the bitch stands. But that's not the point. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back while I tell the tall tale of the time that I almost married a narcissistic sociopath. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is going to hurt. The year was 2018, and after a summer of trolloping through the ghetto streets of dating, I finally met a man who, I hate to admit it, but swept me off my feet. And by now, y'all already know what turned your girl real basic real quick. He was tall, he was funny, he was beautiful, he was scruptious. Sidebar, I am completely convinced that the devil is walking the earth disguised as beautiful men, so from this point on, it'll only be Pee Wee Hermans and Steve Urkels for me. And don't even try to play me with that Stefan or Kel shit. I see right through you. Not today, Satan. So we instantly connected. It was one of those like, I just met you, but I feel like I've known you forever type of connections. And while I thought initially he was just being very intentional of his pursuit of me, I have come to find out that he was just exercising that age-old manipulation tactic used by narcissists all around the world known as love bombing. Yeah, there's definitely going to be multiple parts to this story. Anyway, where was I? Oh, that's right. Love bombing. Super fucked up, but super effective. So much so that I fell in love with him, thought he fell in love with me, and after 11 months of dating, he asked me to marry him. It was not a simple ask. No. Because that's not how narcissists roll. They don't do quiet and intimate. They do loud and outlandish, like fucking flash mobs. Because how else can they ensure maximum humiliation when they up and leave you? I mean, if you're a sociopath, it makes sense. If you're not, well, you're basic. Ooh, pro tip for all my aspiring narcissistic sociopaths out there. If you have any children that you don't actually take care of, but you use as pawns in order to disarm other people, you should totally incorporate them into your con because it works like a charm. We're talking that shit is très magnifique. Now, you know y'all nosy and you want some more tea, so head on over to part 2. Welcome back to the Holiday Limited series, So I Almost Married a Narcissistic Sociopath, brought to you by Dating Sucks and I Hate It Here. Tequila's up. Let's do this. Okay, so now I'm engaged, and I'm not even gonna front. I was so happy. I was like over the moon, on my knees praying, Jesus, you did it. You see me. Won't he do it? He did though. But now I'm over here like, but what's really good, fam? Anyways, sorry for yelling. So listen, your girl is no spring chicken, so I wasted no time planning the dream wedding that I have literally been thinking of and conjuring up for the past 30 years. Now, for the most part, planning was a cinch. I mean, we had the date, we had the venue, I had my dress, my girls had they dresses. I mean, I was sitting up there on my high horse like, I thought this was supposed to be stressful, but I guess not for me. Little did I know that I would come to wish that my biggest issue was trying to figure out how to keep Uncle Ray Ray and Auntie Poom Poom from sitting next to each other. So, like, I don't know if you heard, but in 2020, the whole world kind of shut down because of this little virus situation. I don't know. If you ask me, it was a little over. Oh my God. Am I dying? I think I'm dying. Oh my God. I gotta take a test. And we're back. Seeing as this is my first global pandemic, I was not prepared for the way in which an entire collective global tragedy will come for your entire life. And you know who it's even more inconvenient for? Trifling heifers who've been secretly in these streets being foul. Now, when you're a narcissist and you are living not just a double life, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 different lives, things get real tricky when you're slapped with a stay-at-home order and you're forced to quarantine in your house, thus messing up every cover story you've ever created in your entire existence, because where are you going, my dog? No, really. Where are you going? So it's the latter half of 2020 and my intuition is on trill. A couple situations occurred that now had me realizing the math isn't mathing, because basically he still wanted to be on his fuckboy shit, except the whole world has changed. So he can't move how he used to move, or really he can't hide how he used to hide. You want to know the number one surefire way to piss off a narcissist and have them showing their ass? You know, the real one? Be unrelenting in your pursuit of the truth. As my girl Chelsea Hart would say, they do not like this. One thing you should know about me, if something don't look right, taste right, sound right, feel right, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna keep saying something until you make it make sense. And if you can't make it make sense, well then, ain't nobody gonna be happy. This feels like a good...
I did not get the invitation for her. I don't know if this was an audition. I know everybody is on the social media networks. They want to be a content creator. We want to sit back, relax, create our content, and get paid for it. But baby, I can't take her. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to stick to the first one that was annoying me, the little nice lady who's a little bit gullible and seems to be confused about life. I'm going to go back to her. That's another one of his fiancés that he pulled a fast one on. I don't have time for performing. What is that? I don't know what kind of play it was or what it was. I don't have time for it. I just can't do it. All right. Yeah, she was so animated. Baby, are you upset or not? Now, Duchess, she's okay, but she gives me a little bit of a Keita Rose. When we're telling a serious story, I like Keita Rose, but at the same time, sometimes the animation, it's a little too much for me. Yeah, she's talking about the same man as well. She is definitely talking about the same man. That is the fiance. And when she said that her fiance left her for the bee that he got pregnant, she's talking about the one that we were listening to from the start of this. Yeah, Dimples Wimples, baby, I can't do it. It's just too much. I just need you to just calm down a little bit. Calm down. It's probably because, I mean, I did eat. I don't know what to blame it on, but it was just too much. I'm going to have to, I'm going to let this next clip play. I'm going to have to go to her page to see if she has a, I need, is that volume or does volume calm you down? What drug is that? I can't do it. So let's get into the next part. Baby, I can't do it. No, I cannot. Oh, it's not even, the next part is still uploading. Lord have mercy. I couldn't do it. It was too much for me. It's just crazy because the little bit that we've heard so far with this, I mean, we're not even pregnant yet. And I'm talking about the girl, the dog with the dog grooming business. We didn't even get to the pregnancy yet. The baby wasn't born yet. We haven't found out. I believe he has a wife as well. So, I mean, this is a long story. This is a long story. That was the other girl's part 7, but she was sharing the fiance. She was sharing the fiance along with it. Marla, you liked it, baby? I think I would need to, I don't know if I need a piece of fruit. I just want to see if she has like a summary of everything that happened, because I believe she told her story during the pandemic. So I want to see what her current videos are looking like. And if I find something current where she's not as animated and she's telling us what had happened, that's just too many people all at once. And I get it. This is the, what are they calling him again? I done forgot his name all damn ready. He's the engagement swindler. So I get it. There's going to be multiple characters that will enter the story, but I need to see if she has a story for 2025. Okay, baby. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the next part here.
Okay, so that's Paige's at Paige Bryan Official. That is her story about what happened to her. Just a little bit of it. There's so much more. So much more. And so, yeah, she called me a B, but no, girl, I didn't know. We had a long conversation, okay? A very long conversation after the fact. And so all love here, all love here. Aren't y'all mad at me? I'm mad at me. Like, seriously. So, she put that out. So, mind you, he wiped her off his social media and then told me to look up his social media and gave me, right? And then had me look at it. But she was no longer on there. And then come to find out that they were supposed to get married. It was, what did I tell you? Like February 2nd when he told me the truth. They were supposed to get married on like February the 11th, I think it said. I'm trying to find the picture of their engagement with the wedding date, but I can't find it. I have so many photos I need to filter through my phone. Anyways, so they were supposed to get married like February 11th or 12th. I'm sure she has it. But, so yeah, so he broke up with her like 2 weeks prior. And now he's fully mine, right? Like he got the time. I found another text message where he mentioned to me, I was telling my best friend, I was like, oh, Caleb. And this is when I still thought he was Caleb. 6 weeks into us knowing each other. He goes, maybe you and I can move in together. I forgot about that he even said that. And I remember I told him, I'm not moving in with you. Like, I don't know you. And then after he told me his real name, and he was still in Colorado because the apartment wasn't ready yet. And so he would joke around talking about, let's have a baby. And I'm like, I'm not having a baby with you. Like, I barely know you. But he jokes all the time. So I didn't know if he was being serious or not. I didn't think he was being serious, because why would you mention having a baby with someone just a few months after you know them, right? And here I'm single. I ain't got no kids. Like, I didn't plan on having kids unless this was someone that was going to marry. So, and mind you, I'm 35 at the time. So he, I leave, I come back home. I told him that I loved him. I'm the first one that said it. I told him that I loved him so I went out there Valentine's weekend. We spent the weekend together. My sister, also at the time lived in Colorado. So I was able to meet up with her. And then I told him that I loved him, and, got home. He was supposed to come back like the next week, and he was supposed to move into his new apartment. So he asked me to go. No. He calls me because he missed his flight home, and he's literally freaking out. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, stay calm. It's okay. Like, we can figure this out. I'm a problem solver. Like, if you freak out, I'm not going to freak out. If you freak out, we're going to try to solve it. Like, that's just how I operate. So I was like, look, I'll front you the money. I know, guys. I said, I'll front you the money. It was $1,500. I'll front you the money. Don't worry. I'll go get the keys. I'll give the lady, the check, and it'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be able to move in. So I did all that. He's like thanking me so much. He didn't have a vehicle. So he kept telling me that he had to turn in his lease. And then when he was supposed to turn in his lease, he didn't turn it in. He still had the car. He had like the car up until like he was supposed to leave. And so for Colorado. So I had asked him, I'm like, oh, did you turn in the car yet? And he was like, no, they let me keep it for a couple more days. And I'm like, that's not the way leases work. I know how leases work. He'd be like, well, I worked at a car dealership and, you know, I was the financial manager and I know how these things work. Okay. Well, how long ago was that? I mean, I don't even know, but I lease cars and I know that's not the way the lease works. When your lease is up, you need to have the car back and you can't go over 100 miles and they get charged. So, he was like, if I could get a car, I can get a car if I needed to, like, no problem. I'm like, okay, cool. Randomly, right? He like randomly will say these things. He randomly said that. And so, I'm like, cool. Like he can get a car. That's cool. But then he goes, well, I guess I can just ride a scooter around LA and, you know, I'll be fine. And then I'm like, oh my God, he doesn't have a car. Like, he can't ride a scooter. He was living like downtown LA. I'm like, he can't ride a scooter everywhere down there. Like, you need a vehicle. So guess what I did? Can you guess, guys? Can you guess what Camille did? Here's my Benz. Give him the keys. Here, you can borrow my other, I have a few cars. That was like my weekend car. This is my gift to myself. I like to drive nice cars because I work so hard. So this is like my guilty pleasure. Okay. So I give him the keys to my Benz and I'm like, just don't drive it too much because it's a lease. So you can't go around the miles. Give him the keys to my Benz. So now he has a vehicle. Cause I mean, I can't let my man go from driving an Audi to a scooter. Like, no. He has to have a nice car. This is like, knock, knock, hello. Like, this is my mentality, right? I'm Captain Save-A-Bro. Me and my therapist talk about this. I'm Captain Save-A-Bro, and working on getting out of that. I like to help people. I like to be there for people. I like to problem solve for people. And I have this really bad pattern. So, Captain Save-A-Bro. I gave him the keys to my Benz. And that wasn't my new car too. I had just gotten that car. Maybe like 6 months prior to that. So it was a new car. He didn't pay me back right away. Next thing I know, he's like buying furniture. Like he bought like a new bed. He bought a desk. And I'm thinking like, well, where's my money for the apartment? So but I don't say anything because I'm just waiting, right? Because if someone tells you they're going to do something, then they should do it. And so I'm not one to nag. So I was just like, okay, I'll just sit back and watch. But I should have, because that was a boundary that I let him cross. Like, I should have nagged. It's not even nagging. It's, you told me you're going to give me my money back, so that's what you need to do. So eventually he did. 4 months later, he randomly gives me cash and was like, I know I owe you this. And it was the total amount. So one day he asked me to borrow. Mind you, he has never asked me to borrow money in our entire relationship, except for one time. And he asked to borrow $2,000 so that he could buy a car. And he's like, I just need help. Like, I just need like $2,000. And I can get a car. And I'm like, okay, like, cause he paid me back the $1,500. So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I know he paid it late, but he still paid it back. So I'm thinking like, okay, $2,000, I can do that. Like, I can help you out and get you a cashier's check for $2,000. Stupid again. So I gave him a cashier's check for $2,000 and I meet him at the car dealership in LA. So when we get there, when I get there, he comes out and he goes, actually, it's not $2,000. It's going to be $3,000. So can you like give me your credit card? I didn't feel comfortable with this. I've been scammed before when it came to cars. And I'm like, no, I need to be the one to run it. Like, it's my card. He's like, no, he did not want me to come inside the dealership. I gave him my card and he ran that extra $1,000. And there goes, you know, the money that he needed to get a car.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This is, even when we get to the paperwork and the documents, when we get into, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cross-reference, even when we get into the documents when it comes to Ernie and his female friends, the whole exchange of money with these men, whoo, you know what I mean. But now, I'm sorry. I know y'all need some malt liquor. Baby, at this point, you probably need the Nikolai vodka, the bottom shelf vodka. I know y'all nerves are attached and detached. I don't have nerves. I just got one thing left. Listen, we are now going to go back to the fiance because she has calmed down and she's now telling her story in 2025 because of everything that's coming out by this woman here. So we're now going to go back, and the reason why we're going in and out and we're putting new characters in is because this is how he was moving. So let's get into Paige again. We're going to give Paige another chance. All right.
What a week this has been. Oh my God. Let me tell you, for any of you out there considering possibly having the lowest, most traumatic moment of your life blasted on the internet for absolute perfect strangers to dissect and consume as their entertainment, I can tell you from experience, 10 out of 10 do not recommend. Take your shit to the grave, baby. Take it to the grave. However, it is too late for me. I cannot be saved, so here we are. No, but for real, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about enablers. And the reason I want to talk to you guys about that is because what I've come to learn is that when it comes to narcissists and or people with narcissistic personality disorder, it is almost impossible for them to do what they do and move how they move with so much success, which feels like a weird word to use there, but accurate. They cannot do what they do with the success that they do it without people who enable them along the way. Now this, like with most things with narcissists, is a little bit complex in that not all enablers either one, know that they're enabling, or two, like are doing it willingly. And it's a really tricky thing because they are also being manipulated. They are also being deceived. And that is very true. And I think that has to be acknowledged. However, at the end of the day, they are still enablers nonetheless. One of the things that therapy has taught me is that multiple things can be true at the same time. And I think that's something really important to hold on to and remember when discussing narcissism, narcissistic abuse, narcissistic personality disorder, simply because very rarely in these situations are things just like a clear black and white either or type of thing. Most things are a both and. I'll give you an example. There are multiple people across all of our pages in the comments saying things like, y'all some weak women, it could never be me. You need to take accountability for the fact that you didn't choose better. And now while I know that you are saying those things not from a place of care or concern, empathy or support, but simply just to be a, God, what's the word? Asshole. And also, you're not wrong. Well, you're not wrong about one thing. We do need to take accountability. We have taken accountability because, as I've said before, the only way you truly heal and grow is by being accountable for your part in things. But I think we need to stop conflating accountability and responsibility. I am accountable for me, myself, and I, but I am not responsible for a single goddamn thing Byron has ever done. Very early in my healing process, I came across this clinical psychologist by the name of Dr. Ramani Durvasula, who, oh my God, if you have not heard of her, she is amazing. I would argue that she's probably one of, if not the top leading voices on narcissism, narcissistic abuse, narcissistic personality disorder. And when I found her, which was, I think the very first thing I saw of hers was a YouTube video. God, it was probably the first time that I felt like I wasn't crazy. It was the first time I had heard someone utter the words narcissistic abuse. It was the first time someone put a name to it. And for me, that was huge, because now that there was a name to it, oh, this might be something that I can actually heal from. This might be something that I can actually survive. And so just shout out to Dr. Ramani Durvasula. Let me tell you, I do not know this woman, but if I ever had the honor of meeting her, I am sorry in advance, but I will probably like hug you so tight for a very uncomfortable length of time while weeping, because I'm just so grateful that you and your work exist. Just side note. The reason I bring her up is because maybe about a couple years ago, I came across one of her videos that speaks to enablers, and I found it to be really helpful because at the time I was really struggling. Actually, if I'm being honest, I still kind of struggle with the anger of it all. And while I'm fully aware that I am completely validated at being angry at multiple people for multiple reasons, for multiple things, I have had a really hard time letting go of the anger for the people who saw what he did and said nothing and did nothing. Now, as I mentioned, multiple things can be true at the same time. So one thing that I know is true is that most people don't know what narcissism is. Therefore, they don't know what narcissistic personality disorder is. Therefore, they don't know what narcissistic abuse is to even be able to recognize that that is what's happening. I understand that. But the problem with not understanding is that the people who don't get narcissism can fall into becoming grade A enablers. You know what I mean? Because what ends up happening, and this happened to me, where when pieces started to come together for me, and I was getting knowledge, and now I'm able to communicate comprehensively what has happened, and I'm like, oh, this is what I've learned. This is what I went through. And when that person on the other side looks at you and they're like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I can see how like some of the stuff he did was like really bad, and he, you know, I don't agree with it, you know, and I could see how it's hurtful, but I don't know, like narcissistic sociopath? No, I don't know. And the reason that is a problem is because you have to understand that survivors of narcissistic abuse are literally coming out of years of having their reality called into question every single day. We are talking about every single day. These people, like myself, are being gaslit, manipulated, deceived, and having their entire reality thwarted every single day. So even when you come out of it, self-doubt is huge. Self-doubt is huge, and even self-gaslighting. That is something Dr. Ramani taught me. Self-gaslighting, where the second you tell someone, oh my gosh, this is what I learned, this is what I think I went through, and they go, I don't know, is it though? You're quick to go, oh, you're right, maybe not, maybe I'm being exaggerating, maybe I'm being too extra, you know, maybe it wasn't that bad. No, baby, it was that bad. In fact, it was worse. This is probably going to end up being a 2-part video because I know you guys don't like things being too long. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to try to explain really complex concepts in 90 seconds or less. So I'm doing my best. His mother.
Be nice.
I'm finding it.
It take you that long to find it?
It does.
One of the hardest things to try and regain and rebuild when you're healing from a narcissistic abusive relationship is trust. I'm sure you're all like, duh, Paige, but it's really not just trust in other people. It's really trust in yourself. I, to this day, struggle with really believing and really being rooted in knowing that my gut, my intuition, my spirit is something that I can trust, is something that is worthy and deserving of being trusted. And the reason I struggle with this so much is because I'm scared. Honestly, like I am terrified because the last time I got it wrong, it cost me greatly. My relationship with Byron cost me financially, it cost me emotionally, it cost me time, it cost me mentally, and it cost me relationships. There are people to this day who I am no longer in contact with because I had to set a very clear boundary. If you are going to be in any kind of contact with him, then you cannot have access to me. If you are going to choose to be in relationship with him, then you are a threat to me. Period. So in my story, Byron's main enablers were a couple of his friends and his mother. His mother. I am going to try and stay respectful because I was raised right, but give me a second. Keeping it a buck, when it comes to his mom, fuck that lady. Okay, heavy on the fuck that lady because she is his number one enabler. She knows everything. She has seen everything. She knows he's married. She knows about all the kids. She probably know about kids we don't even know about. And she just, every time, just show up like do. You are complicit, ma'am. Like and it's not like he's good to her. Like he manipulates everyone. He is absolutely incapable of having a healthy relationship with a single human being on this earth. She lets him get away with it. Because what you mean? You're out in LA and we're walking my wedding venue. Me, you, him, his daughter, my parents. What you mean? You're there talking about a wedding you're so excited for that you know is never going to happen, ma'am. You know it's never going to happen. What you mean? We're talking about mother of the groom dresses for a marriage you know can't happen because the wife at home, you know Sam. You know Sam. You know they're married. You know they're married. What you mean? And maybe people could argue like, oh, well, that's not her place. That's her son. You know, that's her son. She's not going to call him out. Okay, but then don't participate. My issue is that she participates. Because why are you in my family's home? Why are you in my home? Why are you in my face and you know exactly what your son is? You know exactly what your son is. How are you within the same year saying you're excited for my wedding, but can't wait for Millie's grandbaby to give you a new grandbaby? What's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people?
Girl, I don't know, but shit, I'm asking what's wrong with. So she just got one more video. She done wore me out.
Another one of his main enablers in my timeline is the best friend. Millie mentioned him in her story. That is the friend who they ended up being disinvited from the wedding for. But yeah, so for me, I'm actually how Byron met him. Me and this person, we went to church together and we were friends. I won't say that we were best friends or anything like that, but we were friends. So much so to the point that when Byron and I started dating and I realized he didn't really have any friends outside of the ones that he mentioned that lived in other states, you know, I thought that the two of them would hit it off. They had a lot of things in common and that could be good for both of them, right? And I wasn't wrong. They did. They hit it off. They became really great friends to the point where they became like best friends and he was going to be the best man in my wedding. This man was the first person I called after I got off the phone with Byron when he ended everything. He was the first call I made. And as you can imagine, I was distraught. I was so confused. I felt like fuck the rug, like the world had been pulled out from under me. And I called this person just like, what is happening? Do you know what is happening? Did you know he was going to do this? Turns out he did. He did know that he was going to end the relationship. But he refused to talk to me. Refused to talk to me. Didn't say like, hey, I'm so sorry this is happening. Like, you know, what's going on? Like didn't ask me any questions, but basically was like, yeah, I'm sorry. You'll be okay. But I'm not going to talk to you about this. Please don't reach out to me anymore. I then tried to text him, also probably frantic and distraught. My text probably looks crazy. I don't even remember what I said. And he basically told me, I'm not comfortable talking to you about this. Please don't reach out again. Enabling. So he and the friend during COVID used to do these weekly Sunday walks. They would just like go on walks for like 2 to 3 hours together. And at the time I thought it was a good thing. I was like, yeah, talk some sense into him. Little did I know that this is where Byron was basically going on a defamation of my character tour. This is where he was building up all the lies. This is where he was telling the stories about me being crazy and how he, whatever lies he was coming up with me about. This is where this was all happening. So basically, this friend essentially helped Byron do what he did to me. Granted, yes, we can say, oh, but he thought he was helping Byron get away from a crazy ex. Sure, okay, whatever. But this person had enough historical and relational equity with me to at least at bare minimum say, I don't know. Maybe let me talk to her. Let me get her side of the story. He didn't even give me the decency of a conversation. He just believed the lie and then participated in the aftermath, in the destruction that was the aftermath of that lie. When you have been abused and traumatized for an extended period of time, the last thing that you have the time and or energy for is to try to educate, enlighten, and convince people that what happened to you actually happened. You kind of just end up going, fuck it, never mind. And that's if they're even willing to listen to you. And again, I understand it for those of you who want to be like, but wait, Paige, like, let's hold space for the fact that these people, like, they didn't know that that's what they were doing. They didn't know that they were enabling. And maybe if they did know what was going on, they would have made different choices. You are absolutely correct. You will get no arguments from me when it comes to that. That is absolutely a truth, right? And also, I am a big believer in intent versus impact. So while I do believe that for a lot of people, maybe even most, it was not their intention to participate in the lies and the destruction, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is they did. And that is the impact. And what I find to probably be the most interesting about all that is even when he realized who Byron was, like, nobody really knows what happened there. He didn't tell Millie, like, no one knows why they stopped being friends, what happened. But even when he realized he wasn't who he thought he was, so much so that you would disinvite him to your wedding, he didn't even have the balls to pick up the phone and be like, hey, I am so sorry. I didn't know. I have seen that person twice in person since this all happened. Has yet to be like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that even if I didn't realize that's what was happening, I'm sorry that I had any hand in that. I'm sorry that I didn't even give you the decency of a conversation. I'm sorry that I believed these lies about you. I'm sorry, nothing, no apology. And so I think for me, why it was important to point this out, because as probably more things will come out and more people will speak up and they'll tell their stories, whether they dated him or were engaged to him or have kids with him or were friends with him. I think the word that everyone wants to float around all willy-nilly is accountability, but we have to be mindful that there are a lot of people who need to be accountable. And while let's not get it twisted, Byron is 100% the villain here. Byron is the only monster in the room. Everyone has had parts to play. And I just personally don't think it makes things right when other people get to hide behind the monster and not have to be held accountable for how they enabled the monster, for how they helped the monster.
Now, I'm going to say this, and a lot of you aren't going to like it. I think what we have to understand is when we're dealing with a situation with a man, or if you're dealing with a situation with a woman and you step into their circle, you can't expect, just because you feel like somebody owes you something and people are required to do the right thing in order to thrive and strive here on planet Earth. I get all of that. But when you step into somebody's circle, you can't expect a goddamn thing. Their loyalty is going to be with that person and not you. They're just accepting you into their circle, but the moment you're pushed out, they don't owe you shit. So it seems like after your so-called situation, it seems like you're still looking for somebody to have some accountability. And baby, you're never going to get it, and you probably have to still go sit back down on that couch so you can get through it. I don't know her from a can of paint, but it seems like she's still a bit the paint is still wet, is what I'll say. The paint didn't dry yet. And I believe she told her story in 2023. And things like this, of course, is going to take time. But if I walk into a marriage, and yeah, they say when you get married, you're married into the family and all of that, that is still his family, or that is still her family. At the end of the day, yeah, unfortunately, especially these boy moms, baby, they gonna make sure they be smiling in everybody's face. They're gonna keep up with the performances and the bullshit. That's just how some women are. And that's unfortunate. But at the same time, his mother doesn't owe you a damn thing. She's just being there for her son. Do I agree with it? No, but she doesn't owe you anything either. And that's why I feel like she needs to still go back and have a seat on that couch, get you some Kleenex, baby, because I don't think you're finished yet. And that's okay. You take your time. But them people that you met through him, they don't owe you anything. They really don't. Because you're already sitting here saying that you were dealt a bad deck of cards. So, of course, most of the people that are around him and enable him, they're not shit either. What do you expect? Baby, ain't nobody about to apologize to you or give you no credit. They don't give a damn about you, baby. They're there for him. And they probably don't fuck with him either, all like that. But he's going to be their first choice before you're the second choice. Okay? Come on now, baby. He's the first choice. You're not the first nor the second choice. You were just somebody that he brought around at the end of the day. And that's unfortunate. But we are going to continue this on another live, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I'm tired. I'm worn out. I was down at that part-time job, baby. Hopefully you all can hear me and I'm not sitting here talking to myself. But it's just so crazy that some of the things that these women are saying, it's so similar to the story that we've been following. Brother Nestos, Shirley, Edith, Sonia, Erica. It's just crazy. And I think what's going to happen with Millie, although she is long in the wind, there's so many parts to her story. I think we're going to notice that she's going to actually get into the story and fix her errors, because people are in the comments complaining. So since there's so many parts to the story, I think it is going to get better with time, each clip at a time, because again, she hears the people in the comments. Okay. And it is what it is. I mean, the men are out here doing what they've been doing. The women are out here doing what they've been doing. Okay. Baby, you can't give up everything. Not in 2025. I feel like foolish shit, depending on how old you are, to get into something new and to fall for all of the things that are being mentioned in these clips. It's insane, but I can't say much because I'm not them. And I don't know what they seen or how he approached them. I just don't. I don't know how he approached them, what they were impressed with, but I could just tell. You can't bullshit a bullshitter is what my dad would always say. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. I think I just prefer like a good old fancy cheater or something. Like, I think if I'm gonna pick out of a hat of somebody fucking me over, like, go ahead, put your hand in the hat. What fuckery do you want to go with? I just want to find out you were cheating. And that's it. Like, all this other shit is just too much for me. Okay. Cheating is too much for me. But like the scamming, you don't even know his real name. There's a wife, kids, a fiance. That is a lot. And you're giving him money. Now he ain't got nowhere to stay, but he does have a place to stay because he got a wife. That's just too goddamn much. What do y'all think about this so far? I know a lot of y'all are annoyed and she done got on y'all nerves. What's going on? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments if you're catching the replay, and let me know over there in the chat what you thinking about. Lovejoy, how you doing, baby? They know who to pray on. Got to stay well. You got to stay focused. You got to stay ready. Now, since we are living in the day and time where there is no longer shame, everything that's being told on these social media networks should be helpful. It definitely should be helpful for sure. I think that moving forward, so far, the top story time that I'm impressed with is Peyton Charles. Sister Peyton Charles is definitely giving a class on how to do a story time. I believe it was just 2-3 videos. I'm not caught up with her situation, but she got right into it, got to the details, and I think people should go watch that story so that they can learn from it. If you're going to come out here on this internet and tell us your business, please refer to Peyton Charles on how to do so. On the TikTok. I don't know if there's a long version of her story on her YouTube or not, but yeah, because this baby, and I'm saying that how many more parts are there? Let me see. I mean, one of the files were so large I couldn't even upload it from my phone, so now I got to be in here editing shit. And girl, now there is a young lady that's on TikTok who does this recap of a lot of the story times, and she starts out by saying she'll play a little bit of the story time, and then she'll say, I watched all of that so you didn't have to, so let me tell you what happened. If I can find her, baby, we will be finished with this tomorrow for sure, but I haven't seen her hitting this story yet. But that's all I got for y'all, baby. Is there anything for me? Y'all got any questions? Are there any last words? Thank you so much to everybody that has, you were patient and you were hanging out with me. I appreciate that. Welcome on in, my belle. Marla Garrett, the only black but not bitter. Were these two men booed up? Honey, you never know, because we're not done with the story. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out next. The favorite one, child, listen. In the meantime, Risa Tisa just announced she's working on a book and TV deal, maybe because she told her story on a clear and concise way. A lot of people complained about Risa Tisa as well, Sassy Experience. I thought she already did that. I didn't know she was just now getting into those things. I thought she was offered all of that back when she told the story. I hope she's still in therapy. I think she definitely needs to go back on the couch for sure, because it seems like everything that's being everybody talking about it now is probably a trigger for her, and it's probably letting her know that she's not healed from this yet. And I'm referring to Paige now. I'm referring to Paige. Skater 75, hey baby. So yes, thank you for rocking with me, you guys. Stacy, that first twin. Hello. Thank you for rocking with me. I know we still have the phone calls from prison call to react to, but again, I told you all I am trying to, get my algorithm together, because this story is not going to be with us long, meaning the Nesto story. So I just want to make sure I'm getting into other things, just so that my content is not just strictly Nesto and Lamont and Sonia and them. Did anybody go to the Friday Night Live with Sylvia and Sonia? Did anybody go over there? Y'all let me know. I don't have anything to say about it, but let me know. I did not spend enough time to even recap or tell y'all anything. I just looked at like the last 5 to 10 minutes. And when I say I looked at the last 5 to 10 minutes, I didn't do it straight through. So I usually do like a shorts and members saying what was going on over there. But baby, I'm just no longer interested. To be quite honest with you, I'm not. I'm over it, to be quite frank. When it comes to Sonia and the Sylvia, what is it, a reality show? I don't know what they got going on over there. I didn't know if the Friday Night Live was, they do it on her other channel now. They do it on her other channel, but I guess they were playing clips from a video or something, and I guess they talk in between and all of that. But like I said, I just didn't feel like it. I don't think she had any refreshments. So I was just like, I'm not coming. Girl, you ain't even feeding me. So why am I keep coming to your house and you ain't got no damn food? Thank you, Stacy, that first twin. I do appreciate that, baby. We are here for you, for us, period. So thank y'all so much. Y'all have an amazing Sunday, honey. What y'all cooking today? Anybody cooking something good for Sunday dinner? And y'all know I've been at work since 4 this morning, baby. So I'm going to probably get off of here, shower, and take me a damn nap. Or maybe I should. No, maybe I should not take a nap, because that'll be some good sleep if I keep myself up. We're waiting on sentencing. Yeah, at this, baby, just April, come on here and let's see what's really going on. Steak and potatoes, that sounds nice and hearty. Any vegetables, baby? No vegetables. No judgment. I'm just asking if he was making a vegetable. Well, I did that. Now that I did see at the end of those 5 to 10 minutes of the Friday Night Live, they're still like trying to drop these hints like, there's going to be good news at the end of April. So I don't know what they're talking about, to be quite honest with you. Most people will say it's a lie. Girl, listen, I'm going to just wait until the end of April to get it from the actual damn courthouse. We can speculate, of course. The only thing I can think when they say it's good news, if it's true, right? If it's true, for all we know, they're just, doing what they do. I don't know, did the judge decide to dismiss everything from the truck? Did they are they going to drop the charges that are pending? I don't know. Is the man about to step out of jail? Is the good news that they gave him his sentence and because he got a plea? Maybe he took a plea and they're about to transfer him, going down to prison for a good old 365 days. Baby, I don't know. I just finished fixing waffles and bacon for my grandson. That sounds yummy. Why do they have more intel about his case than they have about their own cases? Stacy, are you going to be going to the courthouse, baby? Lovejoy said, not sure what I'll be cooking today. Most likely baked chicken with gravy, rice, and mixed veggies. That sounds good and hearty as well. Will you be making cornbread with that? That sounds like that would be good with some cornbread. Yes, it does. I don't know how I'm going to stay up, you guys, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, good. I can't wait for you to tell us about it. Stacy, I wish you had a channel, baby, since you be down there at the courthouse. Child, I wish you had your little channel. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So, good idea. Yes, the corn, that's going to be good, Lovejoy. So I'm good. You make your, I will be, period, baby, boots on the ground. I think you're going to see a lot of people on that date, boots on the ground. Because, we don't know. Is this the last and the final one? Or what's going on? Skater 75 made fried pork chops, black eyed peas, cornbread, and collard. Oh, baby, y'all cool. Y'all are eating good today. It is a soul food Sunday. The only black but not bitter says Krusty's. Is it Krusty's? Yeah. Krusty's is my favorite cornbread. Back when I could have gluten, I did like that cornbread. It was really good. It was really good. Yeah, back when I could have it. That's actually my favorite pancake mix to use for my kids. Like anytime I use a different pancake mix, I use that for the waffles and the pancakes. Anytime I change the mix, they act like they don't like them, so they really like their pancake batter. And they have one now. It's their sweet cream one. I haven't used it yet. It's in my deep freezer. I'm weird. I put my dry, like any flour and pasta and rice, I put it in the freezer, y'all. But I haven't used the sweet cream yet to see, if they notice a difference, because I can't eat it, but I make it for them. But yeah, I want to see. I'm hoping the sweet cream is going to be really good, is what I can only assume. But yeah, it's a sweet cream pancake mix. I think is it sweet cream? Yeah, sweet cream pancake mix. So, that's all I got. Y'all hear this TV is up really loud. It's the 3 rooms over. Do y'all hear the TV and how loud it is? My pancakes, I put birthday cake extract in my pancakes. I do the cake batter. I do the cake batter for them, although, girl, the chemicals in that is crazy. But I use the cake batter by McCormick for my pancake and waffle mix, and it does give like a cute little secret ingredient. It really does. And sometimes I do the butter extract as well from McCormick. I sure do. But yeah, that that's it, Stacy. Okay, yeah. It gives it a good flavor. It smells so good too. It smells really, really, really good. Because although I can't have the gluten, when I'm making my batter, I do taste it just to make sure, it has the right flavor profile. I know this sounds nasty. I just have to spit it out. I can't swallow it. Oxtails, okra, rice, and asparagus. Come on, Golden Pearl, baby. You cooking, ain't it? Baby, them asparagus, honey, y'all got to be careful with them asparagus. You eat them asparagus, you go use that public restroom, and somebody go in there after you, they gonna think that's your cooter cat. It doesn't happen to everybody, but those asparagus, baby, listen, that's a bundle of a low down dirty dog. The way those asparagus, how they handle you, and when you go that urine, baby, after eating those asparagus, you use that public restroom, you gotta say, hey, I had asparagus. Look it up, Google it. I swear to God, it's the asparagus. I don't fool with them. I don't fool with them. Now they have white asparagus. I wonder if those do the same thing. I wonder if the white ones do it, baby. It is a bad smell. It's a bad smell. Like, what is that, honey? What is that? And how do you explain that? How do you explain that? You have to explain that. You have to come up out of that bathroom. Yes, we've been getting in. Y'all know I work down there at the grocery store part-time in the e-commerce department. So, doing the online order, shopping the online orders during closed, when the store is closed. And they've been getting in white asparagus. They're like they're like the color of mushrooms, if you will, but a little lighter. They're not bright white, and I forgot the actual name of them. And another thing that I've seen recently are red scallions. Have you all seen red scallions before? And I wish that I could tell you how they taste, because I got a bundle of them, but when I got them home, I forgot I had them. So when I went back in my refrigerator, I'm like, oh shit, these are about to go bad. I think I used them in some baked chicken with a sauce. So I didn't get a chance to taste them raw. Oh yeah, baby. I get that good old 20% down there at the Whole Foods. Absolutely. Down there at the Whole Foods. Baby, I just give them their money back. Right. The little check I get, baby, it's almost like they're getting their money right back from me. You see, they grow them in the dark. Yeah, they're really thick. They're thick. They're not thin like your green scallions. It's like a bulb. So it's like a purple bulb at the end. and then you see the green scallions, coming out of that purple bulb. And I love red onions, but like I said, mine were starting to go bad, so I just chopped them up and put them in my marinade. So, and cooked my baked chicken. So I don't know what it tastes like raw. I like raw onions, raw scallions. I know that's weird, but I like that bite. Hubby is fixing tortellini and garlic bread for dinner. I haven't fixed dinner since September. Bitter, black but not, the only black but not bitter. Why do you do that? Why do you come in this chat and say things and then put the date on there like that? Because it makes me Black but not bitter said her hubby is cooking. And she says she hasn't fixed dinner since September or October of 2004. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was funny to me. She's just, some days she's just in the chat hanging out. Other days she will let you know she hasn't done something since, she'll give you a date, and it's always crazy. Oh my goodness. So that's all I got, y'all. I'm tired, as you can see. I no longer have any excitement in my voice. I got to go get my coffee out of my car. It was free coffee from work, so I'm going to go make an iced coffee now and try to keep myself up. The truth is, it's the truth. I tried to do it twice after we got married, and I got frustrated and gave it up. Dimples, Wimples, nothing happened, baby. We are still here and about to leave. We decided to continue. I think what's going to happen, Dimples, Wimples, with the long-winded sis Millie, I think that now that she's getting into the groove of telling her story, I think each clip is going to get better because she's probably listening to what the people are saying in the comments. Like, girl, get to the point. So, yeah, we are going to continue tomorrow. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, y'all. Y'all know I love y'all down. Let's go in here and what we got over here. Let me see. Do we have any birthday girls in here today? Happy birthday to you, Sugar. Many more blessings to you, Honey Bun. Blessings to you, okay? And I hope you plan to eat good. I know you're looking good, feeling good, and smelling good, okay? And let me make sure I get y'all birthday song before we get out of here. Where's the song at, y'all? He got this goddamn TV up so goddamn loud. Now he know good and damn well I'm on live. I'm sorry, y'all.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a confession. Hi. Yes, baby. I don't know if it's ripe yet. So if you're going to take my banana, please don't waste it. I don't know if it's ripe. I only bought one because I didn't know if it was, it's not ripe. Go ahead. You can have it, honey. Go ahead. You was gonna eat it any damn way. I have a confession. Now, I said I was not gonna eat any cupcakes until October, and I'm still keeping my promise to myself. But I went to Trader Joe's, y'all, and they had a new gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. And I don't know if you guys shop at Trader Joe's, but there's a plastic circular container that has these small, crispy, buttery, thin cookies. And the gluten-free cookies on the shelf, I said, oh my God, those look like those little thin, crispy, cookies I used to eat back when I can have the gluten. I'm going to have to try those out. So I said, let me look and see how much sugar per serving. And it was like two cookies. I think it was like 11 grams of sugar. I was just like, I ain't doing shit else. You know what I'm saying? Let's give it a whirl. I think I ate like 5 of them. I did maybe 6. I don't know. But what I do know is I didn't effed up the church's money. Listen, okay, baby. I done had about 5, 6 of them. Now, am I diabetic? No, I'm not a diabetic. But allegedly, my A1C is given pre-diabetic, okay? And we got that number down. I was 1 point away from being back in the normal range of things. And then my birthday came, Thanksgiving came, and Christmas came. So that's October, November, and December. Your A1C is based off of a 3-month average. So when I went and got that blood work done, I said, oh shit, the number went back up. I said, all right, we're going to have to work on that again, right? We're going to have to work on that again. And that's what I have been doing. But today I just was like, I don't want to miss out. What if it's sometimes Trader Joe's will get something, baby, and you won't see it again. So I went on and did that. I did. And after that third one, I was like, oh my God, this is so sweet. But I kept on doing it. Baby, sugar for me is like cocaine, crack cocaine, for me. And I know people say we shouldn't compare sugar to the crack cocaine, but sugar is a drug. It is. So I'm going to probably have about 2 more. I ain't going to hold you. And I think I'm going to throw them away. I don't know yet. I haven't made the decision. Or I'll put them in the community, because in my house, we have like a basket where their snacks are. I'm going to put them in their basket, and hopefully they will eat them before I eat them. But that was my confession. But no, I didn't have the cupcakes. I'm standing on business. No cupcakes until my birthday. And if I learn how to bake my own gluten-free cupcakes, then I don't have to even go down there and get they funky ass cupcakes. If I can find out how to bake my own gluten-free, refined sugar-free cupcakes. But I wanted to confess, because I know some of y'all out there got a greedy spirit like I do. And some of y'all got the sugar and got a greedy spirit. I just got the pre-sugar. I ain't got the sugar. I got the pre-sugar. Yeah. So that was my confession, baby. Baby, okay? Y'all have a good old day. Honey, don't judge me, honey. Judge yourself. Point your finger back at you. You done something you ain't got no business doing as well. Shit, I'm tired of watching what I'm eating. It's exhausting. Sometimes I want me a damn snack, so that's what I do. I eat a damn snack. Who's gonna check me, boo?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Unfiltered Doll Reactions.
Alright, Slash.
Oh, what you working for? Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't.
Are we shaking ass before we go? Is that a yes or a no? Let me know. Drop the peaches in the chat. Thank you.